It's a cold night, and she's finally arrived. Welcome to the witch's house. This is the tale of a young girl lost in the woods. A girl with blonde braids wakes up in the woods surrounded by plants. There's nothing to see beyond the stark darkness of the tree line. In her pocket is a letter from her father telling her it's okay to play in the woods, but reminding her not to go too far in and getting lost. The girl walks over to a black cat seemingly waiting for her on a nearby stump. She tries to go down the path to leave the woods, but it's blocked by a huge pasture of rose bushes. However, the way north is traversable. Up ahead, the trail leads to an old cobblestone house sitting in the middle of a clearing surrounded by trees. She decides to enter since it's the only sign of what to do next. The girl enters the home immediately to a blood-stained floor. The black cat has also followed her, seeming to be interested in what will become of her in this house. The house is littered with booby traps and all with the purpose to kill. Stepping on the bloodstained floor from before would result in the ceiling falling onto whoever steps on it. The girl bypasses these traps and continues deeper into the home. At the back room of the first floor is a diary, labeled The Witch's Diary. In it, the diary states, "I was sick, so no one played with me. My father and my mother didn't love me." The entry cuts off there. This seems to be the house of a witch that the girl has stumbled into. This could be why the father was worried about his daughter wandering deeper into the woods. As the girl continues traversing the manor, she finds locked doors and certain paths blocked by puzzles. For one, she cuts the limbs off a teddy bear she finds, and blood starts pouring out from the stuffed animal. This allows her to fit the limbless bear in a basket, which unlocks a door to the dining hall. An enormous bear lurches out from the dining hall entryway, running towards her. The girl makes a break for it and hides for a moment. The place really is out to kill her. How was that thing moving in the first place? It seemed alive, like a wild animal. The bear is gone when she returns. This place is complexly designed, but the blood from the bear dictates it's more than just architecture. Objects in the house move and follow the girl as if they have their own will. Next, she stumbles onto a kitchen with the silhouette of a cook working on a cutting board. She could speak to the cook, but he doesn't appear to be a part of the material world, although he could wield a knife and harm the girl with ease if she answers him wrong. The girl finds a way around the chef and up to the second floor. A wraparound staircase leads to a hallway with a suit of armor and some more doors. She enters one to find a library. There's the ghost of a girl inside who doesn't speak much, just like the chef. In here leads to the first bit of real information. An old newspaper clipping reveals that an old house had burned down, and a wife and husband had died. They had been stabbed before the fire. They had one daughter named Ellen, who has since gone missing. The article ends there. The girl leaves the library and enters a sort of museum room. There are clues on pieces of paper in here as to how to proceed, as well as more puzzles. The library spoke of these puzzles as the key to open the doors in this house, as the house can move and warp as it pleases because of the witch's magic. The girl finds some rope and takes a fake butterfly from the museum. First, she gives the ghost girl some rope to help her with some books. She then uses the fake butterfly to help free a real butterfly from a spider's web in another room. This tricks the house's traps from killing her by placing this decoy. When she completes these strange tasks, the library door is now ajar for some reason. The girl enters and finds the old ghost girl had hung herself on the rope she gave her. Blood is dripping from the cord. With this, the door to the third floor finally opened. The girl is met with more bloody cobblestone walls. She goes down a velvet hallway with trap knives that shoot out at her. She dodges them and advances through the illusions of the house. In another room, she finds a frog that merrily joins her on her quest. The little guy helps her out with tasks around the third floor. The animals inside this house are seemingly very friendly with her. Another witch's diary entry is found. In it, the witch claims that their parents didn't love them, so the witch killed them. They have been in this house ever since. Whatever happened to this witch, it clearly drove her crazy enough to make this nightmare of a house. The girl comes to a door at the end of the third floor that has a small slat near the top. She could hear slithering and sees something inside with dark scales. There's something off about this. It's clearly another animal beyond the door, but this one seems to have ill intent. She must press on though. The girl grabs the frog and pushes it through the slat on the door. When she opens it, there is nothing there but a bloodstain on the ground and a crack in the wall. The cat is waiting for her once again at the end of this floor. The cat cracks a joke and tries lightening the atmosphere up. He has a personality under that fur of his. The girl makes it to the fourth floor. She's getting closer to the top now. She finds a hidden doorway between some wallpaper. It's a giant mouth. There are many other mouths she could have chosen. They must have been death traps. Another witch's diary entry is found up here. The witch claims to have made friends in the past who came over to their new house. The witch ended up killing them as well and feeding them to the house. This is getting more and more sinister as we ascend these floors. Moving on from that, many antique rooms line this floor with puzzles, from gorgeous paintings of royal women to curtains of red silk, flower pots still alive with white lilies and ornate rugs and furniture. One puzzle on this floor makes one of the paintings turn demonic and jump out of its wall socket to kill her at high speeds. The girl runs circles and makes it away before it's too late. Nonetheless, these are just more puzzles to the girl. She is able to get around the issues of this manor at a shocking pace. Another room with the fourth floor leads to a cathedral-esque room. This is strange. Why would this be part of a witch's house? After that, she makes it up to another floor, but this time, it's the final floor. The girl walks through a large gothic hallway as she arrives. A demon pops through one of the arched windows from the outside and rushes towards the girl. Right before it contacts her, a purple-haired girl in a dress appears between them both and stops the demon in its tracks. Whoever that purple-haired girl was just saved her life. This allows her to get to the courtyard on the 5th floor. It's a gorgeous garden. There's flowers that are seemingly alive and speaking here. There's a room full of flowers gossiping at a table about their hatred for the white lily in the main garden. They task the girl with killing the lily by snipping it dead. In another chamber is a prison. There's someone behind the bars here. They don't offer much information, but they seem to be on death's door. Whoever's in the darkness behind the bars needs help. They need medicine. Directly next to that person's jail cell is a dying bird. Everything's demented in this house. Most of the entities in this game are vile, and the ones who tend to need to die for the girl to advance are the ones who aren't, like the frog, the white lily, and the bird. The girl completes the request of the inhabitants of floor 5 and keeps going. More monsters and traps lay in wait for her, but to no avail. She finds the 5th floor diary entry from the witch. In red writing it reads, "Then a girl came over to play, a cute girl with golden braids." That can only be directed towards the main heroine herself. Did the witch just write this recently after we entered the house, or before we got here? There's another entry here as well. The witch claims that she wouldn't kill the girl because she is the cure to her sickness, so the witch made the girl her friend. Finally, the girl makes it to the end of this maze of a home. There is a note from the witch inviting the girl to her room. It's time for them to meet. After this, the house warps and light comes through the halls and windows. The house has returned from its nightmarish state it was in when the girl first entered. It finally feels normal. No ghosts, entities, or magic. The girl comes to an end of a hall and finds the black cat that's been aiding her through all of this. It's dead. The black cat didn't make it. Its dead body lies directly in front of the witch's door. The girl stomps over the cat and enters for the final confrontation. The witch's room has a bed covered in blood in the middle of it. What happened here? In the corner on the desk, there is a final note. This one gives the info we were missing for what's been happening here. The witch has a sickness that is killing her. She states that her plan is to take the main heroine's body and hopes she'll comply because they're friends. The witch calls the main heroine her friend and finally says her name. The witch calls the girl by her name, Viola. After this, a mirror breaks and the purple-haired girl from before comes lurching towards Viola. Though this time, the purple-haired girl is covered in blood and missing her legs and eyes. She looks like a monster. The purple-haired girl chases Viola throughout the whole house. Viola manages to make it all the way down to the 1st floor and grabs a knife. That girl Ellen's knife, to be exact. Viola keeps running and makes it outside. She's free. At last. There's a letter outside waiting for Viola in the original spot she woke up at before entering the witch's house. This seems to be the first half of the note from Viola's father from the beginning of the game. She must have dropped it here when she awoke. It reads as follows. "Dear Viola, I'm sorry for yelling at you yesterday. There's an old legend that says a witch lives in the forest and kidnaps children who get lost there. Your friend's house is very near the forest, so I was worried about you. Your friend's name was Ellen, right? Well," then it ends there. Viola is able to leave the witch's estate by using the bottle of a witch's brew she attained in the house to get through the rose bushes blocking her way. Viola walks down the path back home, but something happens. A wet crunching is heard from behind her as the purple-haired girl is still following her. Her blood trail follows behind her. She cries for help. Viola speaks for the first time and says, "Just give it up already." She then stabs the purple-haired girl with the knife she grabbed earlier. This scene's the most important in the game, so I'm going to let it play out in real time for all of you to watch, and then I'm going to voice Viola for what she says here. Viola continues. How long are you going to chase me? You know you're almost dead. Ellen mutters something. Give it back, Viola says. No way. I don't feel any pain in this body. Besides, you're the one who gave it to me. Why should I have to give it back, she continues. Right, Viola? You felt so sorry for me. I couldn't even move from my bed. That's why I used my magic to trade bodies with you. Just for a day? Maybe I did promise that. I was surprised you managed to trap me in there, but to no avail. After all, it's my house. Why would it ever kill me? The house guided me the entire way to ensure that I would escape. Still not dead? I have to applaud your tenacity. Ah, maybe you're too worried about your father to die? Oh, I know all about you and your father, Viola. A close family of two. Those memories stayed in your body. He's a kind man. A hunter, isn't he? And he even sent you that letter. What a good father. So then, I suppose you're worried about what'll happen when you're gone? It'll be just fine. I'll make sure his daughter, Viola, gives him her share of love. And I'll take her share of love, too. So just... After the shocking exchange, Viola's father is heard in the distance and comes running. The now known fake Viola, who is the witch Ellen, runs and hides behind the father acting as his daughter. The purple-haired girl, now we know to be Viola, lurches forward with the last of her power, moaning a shrilled, "Father." The father takes his gun and blasts the purple-haired monster away. That monster, who was none other than his own daughter, dead. Thank you for watching The Story of the Witch's House. We make many other videos on the story of video games like this one. See you next time.